right. Welcome to our second edition of the Xtra Point. I am joined now by brand new Lincoln Trojan head coach of just newly minted, probably about a week into the job or so. Coach Tyson joins us here today on the Xtra Point. Coach, thank you for taking our time out of your busy schedule. I know it's spring, and even though things are still relatively slow, there's still lots of football-related things going on. I'm also joined with my tag team partner, Coach Cofield. Coach, I know you have a couple of questions for the new coach here, but just to go ahead and jump into it, what's keeping you busy right now? I know you were mentioning you were helping out with some other sports. Are you itching to kind of go ahead and jump back into football here as we get closer to spring?
When I was coaching in college and FAM, Joe Taylor used to always say football is 13 months out of the year, and he always knew it was always 12 months. But football never slows down. It's always going. Right now, we're kind of working with our recruiting. So we're reaching out to a lot of coaches. Because of COVID, a lot of coaches aren't coming on campus like usual. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of putting us where we have to reach out to a lot more coaches, which, is good. So we've been spending a lot of time with that, hiring some staff, joining the program. And then I still would have had as head weightlifting coach for the girls and the boys. So kind of doing all those things at once.
Okay, you're a very, very, very busy man. I can see that, just going back to last season, man, you guys had a pretty successful season, had a lot of new breakout stars, seniors performed well. What are you looking forward to, or what I would say now is now that you are further in the program, you guys really seem to establish a lot of good things in last season. What are you looking forward to this season?
Just to keep building on the Lincoln tradition. It's a rich tradition, all about winning, and just kind of continuing that. We were very young last year, and we returned 17 starters from last year's team. So I think, and a couple other role guys that, allows us to have a lot of depth. So really, we're just looking to not only make a run in the playoffs, but make it to state.
Hey, Coach, what's up?
How you doing?
We good. We go way back, man. Tell the folks a little bit about your history, your background in coaching and football, and tell them where you're from too.
Born and raised in Miami, Florida. I went to Miami, Carol City. Was blessed to be able to be a part of 2 state championship teams in Miami at Carol City, then came to FAM. Joined the FAMU football team as a walk-on. Was on that team from 2000 to 2003. And then kind of got with a mentor coach, Coach Bogans, which was the running back coach at the time. And I let him know how I was interested in coaching football. And he plugged me in to FAMU High, where I got to meet some great coaches.
Yeah, you did.
Coach Cofield. And that was kind of my first opportunity to coach. So I spent 3 years there and then went over to Godby, spent 1 year there as the secondary coach, special teams coordinator. Then went back to Florida A&M University as a GA. I spent a year as a GA, and then they promoted me to the secondary coach. I was there for 5 years as the secondary coach, then left and went back to Godby, was there 4 years as the defensive coordinator, and then came over to Lincoln for 4 years as the defensive coordinator.
Hey, Coach, we got one thing. You left FAM. You had the year before we won the States. And Coach Reynolds owes you a ring, though. He left a year before we won. I just wanted to throw that in there.
But Coach, I felt like Moses. I led him to the promised land. Go ahead.
He said he did his job.
He did it. And he was very good, man. I knew he was going to be a great coach. Now, your background is defense. Going to Lincoln, what are you going to do? How are you going to solve the offense problem? Are you not a problem, but what are you going to do on offense? Are you bringing a coach in? Do you have people already on your staff that you're going to run the offense? Are you going to do the offense? I mean, what is going to happen with the offense?
One thing I always like to tell people, some of the best people to understand what gives defense problems is guys that coach defense. Because we got to deal with it all the time. So just being able to let my voice be heard on some of the stuff that gives defensive coordinators issues week after week. But we have a lot of great guys on staff. Coach Cole, Travis Cole, he's been with the program 4 years. He does an excellent job with our offensive line. He's a student of the game. He's always studying, always spending time with film. And he's been in our system under 3 coaches that are NFL coaches and coaches that have done great stuff. And he's learned a little bit from all of those guys. So I think he's really primed and ready to kind of have a breakout year as a coordinator. We added Stephen Jerry, which was college coach that I coached with at Florida A&M University.
Yeah, we know him.
He was the quarterback's coach and receiver coach when I coached at FAM under Joe Taylor. And he came back and he was the receivers and running back coach under Coach Woods. So we added him to the staff as the quarterback's coach and recruiting coordinator. And then we sprinkled some more people in on the offensive side of the ball. So we have some great coaches that's already part of the program. We added a few more to give some different viewpoints from other programs. So I really think we're ready for an explosive season on offense.
Okay. Coach, one last question before we let you get out of here. You inherit a lot of talent that's coming back. Talk to me a little bit about some of the guys that you're most excited for, especially you got a lot of juniors that are looking to have some breakout senior seasons. Who are some of those guys that you think you're looking forward to seeing them step up in their senior year?
I always like to tell people I'm a football guy. So the shiny toys are great, but it always starts with the offensive line. And we return pretty much the whole offensive line. And some guys have been starting for 2 years with us. So that's always the foundation of an offense. And we return 4 defensive linemen, 2 defensive ends, and a tackle that started last year. So up front in the trenches, I think we're really setting the tone. And then from that part of it, looking at offense, we return 3 of our 4 starting receivers. A tight end that's really, really primed to have a big season for us. He kind of came on early last year and then kind of faded a little bit. And we want to use him more as an inline tight end in the backfield, different stuff like that, and not a just spread guy. We have a young running back that's ready to run the ball, and he's a dynamic player, and he can play outside, inside, slot, Fred Alexander. And then at the helm, Perry Fisher. And he's one of the best athletes in the area. Dual sport kid. He can do it all. He can jump. He can throw. He can run. And having a kid like him that's locked in, that can do it all for us, it just opens up our offense. And then when you look at the other side of the ball, like I said, we have 2 defensive ends that returning starters. And then we have big Rohan in the middle, setting that tone to stop the run. And then we bring back all our linebackers. And we have an athletic bunch that fly around from sideline to sideline that make plays. So we're good there. Then we have a kind of mixture in the secondary. We have a lockdown corner, Robert Wilson, that we can put on anybody and feel good with. So we just have a ton of talent.
I got to ask one question. It's on defense. You've been a coordinator for most of your career. Are you going to still coordinate, or are you going to put that in somebody else's hands?
Well, what I plan to do, we'll run pretty much some of the schemes we're running, but we have some guys that we're grooming to kind of call it. I don't know how fast that will be. It's a process because, again, our kids are comfortable kind of in the system we've been running. And you're talking about kids that's been in that system 2 to 3 years. So we're running the system that we've implemented. but I might not call it all the time.
Okay. I was just curious.
Mm-hmm.
He asked them deep questions, like, man, just
Hey, man.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to let everybody know what's up. You know, I'm just asking.
Coach Tyson, when you come on, you got to be prepared.
Oh, you got to be prepared anytime you're around this guy.
Man, Coach, thank you for taking our time with fourquartersonline.com. Hopefully this is the first of many conversations leading up to the exciting 2021 season. Best of luck to you, and we look forward to chatting with you in the spring.
Thank you very much for having me. It's been a blessing being the head coach at Lincoln. Again, rich tradition, a great booster club, great support from administration. It's just a great place to be.
Wow. Most words I heard you say in a straight sentence since I've known you.
Gotta practice.
Thanks for your time, Coach Tyson. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
All right.
All right.